It's not over.
Stop the fight!
No! Default.
Everybody, I come here for everybody. Kill everybody. I'm the champ. I'm the king. Get everyone. Ah!
All right, what's up, guys? We are back. We're here with Broke Bets. Got our bets for Vera versus Sandhagen. Of course, came off a big week last week on UFC 286. What's going on, Carson?
Yes, sir. We gotta keep it rolling.
Yeah, I mean, we had very few slip-ups. I guess I've showed you guys the whole screen this week. Let's just get into it. I got 6-7 bets down. And they're almost all plus money here besides that Giles one. But first of all, Trey Ogden, taking him because I think he's going to be the better, more experienced fighter here. Torres has really only gone out of the first round a couple of times. And you look down the stretch of this fight, it should be all Ogden once it gets out of round 2, out of round 3. Or, out of round 1 and then heads to round 2 and 3. But I just really like him a lot better as a fighter here, and I think he's going to win this one. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, as long as he can get out of that first round. I mean, Torres, every single one of his fights are first-round finishes, win or lose. So you got to think that cardio won't hold up for after the 5 minutes there.
Yeah, and Ogden showed great rolls on people's punches towards him. Great striking defense, mixed in some grappling where that could really slow down Torres pretty fast. And some submission skills, so that's something to look out for. But yeah, we talked about this fight before, and Torres is throwing hooks, and Ogden could easily counter him in that situation as well. And at plus 170, that's a pretty great number. Moving down, got Trevin Giles beating Preston Parsons. I think he's just, again, more experienced, better striking, stand-up with footwork, movement, and he's got the wrestling background to deal with what Preston Parsons does, which is take people down and submit them. And he won't be able to work that top pressure game here, and I think that Trevin Giles keeps this on the feet, moves around, stitches and moves, and the biggest scare is really if a Preston Parsons punch knocks out Giles. And at even money, I'm going to take Giles on that. And, D-Rod beat Preston Parsons pretty bad. And, D-Rod and Giles are kind of in a similar category in my eyes, at least. So, yeah, Giles there. Next fight. I got Steven Peterson losing to Lucas Alexander. I think Lucas Alexander shows good promise with his striking if you watch his regional fights. Very good distance, low calf kicks, knees, Muay Thai. It all looks pretty clean. Hardest part is he hasn't been super tested in grappling. Joe Anderson Brito really showed that. But that's a first-round fighter, a really strong guy to deal with. I think that Steven Peterson, he's more just of a tough guy. And his path to winning this fight would be in the pocket and moving this fight to the ground. But also I've seen Alexander in some of his regional fights get up pretty fast from takedowns, so I wouldn't be surprised just to see Alexander point fighting him here, and that's why you're seeing a 0.75 unit bet on him here. I think it's just he hasn't gotten a win in the UFC. He's not the most flawless record. I just want to put a little bit less on him, see if this one pays out. Next fight, Marlon Vera, another underdog here, taking him to beat Cory Sandhagen. If you guys have watched our big breakdown video, you probably know why. I just think he's the more dangerous guy here, and you factor in submissions, knockout ability, and just this fight down the stretch. And I think Chidi has the finishing advantage, and then you never know how rounds are going to get scored. Chidi kind of lets him float by, but he might also just do the heavier strikes that the judges might give him around. You don't really know. So at underdog money, I like him. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Cory will have more value, but I think Chidi will inflict most of the damage. I think after the first round, if Chidi loses it, probably will. If that line even gets even higher, I think could see another play there.
I could see the books planning for it, but it certainly still would go up at whatever, magnitude. I don't know how much that will be, but if you see north of plus 200, I think that's a easy trigger to pull. So
yeah, exactly.
But moving down further, I got the under 1.5 in the Vinicius, Salvador, and Victor Altamirano fight. And Tapology and like how these fights have gone for, especially Victor Altamirano, it's a risk to pick that under 1.5, but I think that Vinicius Salvador will force this into a firefight, especially with a UFC debut, a lot of hype off that Contender Series fight. These guys are going to go at each other from the first second of the fight, and I just really am convinced this one's going to be under 1.5. I think that Salvador, if he wins, it's going to be in 1.5, and if Altamirano wins, it's probably going to be second round passed, and I think I get a little bit more of that edge just with that option. See, I like this one under. I think it's just going to be it has violence written all over it for me. I know some other people are not playing this, but I do like it. Further down, Manel Kape, taking him with the over 2.5 in the Holm fight. I think Manel Kape is just a better fighter, more dangerous. Alex Perez, wrestling, high volume, leg kicks, but I think Kape has better striking. And when it comes to submissions, by the way, a little sprinkle might be Kape by submission. Perez has been submitted in 5 of his 7 losses, and Kape has some pretty good ground ability when it gets there, so you don't know what's going to happen in that situation. And I just see him as the better flyweight, and then along with it, of course, over 2.5. I just like that because, Holm hasn't had a finish since Beth Correa in 2017. Yana, she's been finished in her last 3 losses, but at the same time, Holm hasn't shown any ability to finish in however many fights, so I'm really all over that, over 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, she'll probably just try to outmuscle her cage fighting. That's probably how this fight goes.
Yeah, when's the last time I saw Holm get a takedown? She didn't even try one on Caitlin Vieira. It was just literally sitting there on the fence. I just feel like this one's going to be a clinch fight the whole time. And I don't really think I'll have to sweat it too much, but Yana does sometimes overextend herself, and that can be scary. And then finally, doing Nate Landwehr and Austin Lingo over 1.5 rounds. I believe Austin Lingo has never been finished before. And then Nate Landwehr, if you looked at his string of fights, he's been finished in the first round by knees twice, I believe. But then the rest of his fights are going over 1.5 rounds, and it's not like Austin Lingo has crazy knockout power. I see this one going over 1.5. And then I'm doing Chidi Vera, Sandhagen over 2.5. I just really think that fight's going to go at least to round 4, but I'm going to give myself a little bit extra time because Chidi always likes to pick it up at the end of a round, and I don't want to get screwed on that 2.5 minutes. So I'm going with 2.5 rounds there. And
yeah, I like that. I can see late 3rd round, most likely 4th or 5th.
Like that's exactly what happened in the Rob Font fight. It was just like time was wasting away till the end of every round, and a big strike came. So I'm not playing that risk of the extra 2.5. I know that sounds somewhat stupid, but I think people can understand that. But yeah, after a good winning week, hopefully come out and do some better work here. Even yet, all plus money sides won. It's the first time I think we've done that this year, but common theme last year. Anything else you got?
Off week next week, so we're gonna get that Pereira Adesanya video out early, week and a half early.
Yeah, get it out early for you guys, and then start dumping bets pretty fast too for that. So yeah,
yes sir.
All right, guys, peace.
I know. It doesn't matter, from the trenches. I'm built like this. The aunt doubted me, so I couldn't do it. The aunt said I couldn't do it. Look at me now.